So here's Donald Trump, and he just got the inaugural FIFA Peace Prize. And yes, that is a real photo. True story. My wife and I, we were having lunch today. We're here in Korea, and they were making fun of him on the Korean news. It seems so unbelievable. And effectively, Saturday Night Live and South Park are documentaries, if you don't know, as you, this is real life. This is the timeline that we're on. Here's another look at it. There's Trump accepting his Peace Prize from FIFA. And we got the video to watch it. So let's take a look.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, this is your prize. This is your Peace Prize. There is also a beautiful medal for you that you can wear everywhere you want to go.
Right now.
Okay, let me hold. Fantastic. Excellent. And you will receive also, of course, a certificate which...
Okay, I got to stop right there. So first, I've lived a long time. You guys don't know I'm 50. I do not think I have ever seen anyone grab their own award and then put it on right away. That's usually not how that works. I don't know if that was always the plan. Maybe they told Trump ahead of time that you're going to get this thing and no one wants to put it on you. I don't know. Or they wanted to humiliate him and make it do it himself because it just looks really weird. The whole thing is weird. And not only do you get the award, I guess you're getting a certificate. So let's check this out.
Reads out, and I would read it out with your permission. What are the reasons for you receiving this FIFA Peace Prize? Football unites the world. So the FIFA Peace Prize is presented annually on behalf of the billions of football-loving people from around the world to a distinguished individual who exemplifies an unwavering commitment to advancing peace and unity throughout the world through their notable leadership and action. And therefore, FIFA, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, awards the 2025 FIFA Peace Prize, Football Unites the World, to Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, in recognition of his exceptional and extraordinary actions to promote peace and unity around the world. Friday, December 5th, 2025.
And there you have it. So the first thing I was thinking about when we were talking about this stuff is, and this is him again, and the White House is retweeting it out, is this is really a test. It's a test to determine whether you're in a cult. So if you understand this whole thing is stupid and it's basically a big joke and Trump is, you could say he's like this delusional dude. And effectively, if you want to manipulate the guy, you just feed into his delusions. If you understand what this is, you get it, right? If you don't, if you think, oh my God, Trump's the greatest person of all of human history. In fact, he's almost like God. In fact, he is God. Then you're in a cult. And it's actually really interesting to see the sycophants, which basically the people around him who are worm tongues and greedy, vultures, how you want to call these people, try to pretend like this is a serious thing. I can't even look at this with a straight face. Now, take a look at what Fox News, so these are basically, they're sort of the cult acolyte manipulators, so they manipulate the cult. Listen to what they say.
I also love that the Peace Prize from FIFA, it didn't go to like Greta Thunberg or some silly little peace
because
activist.
It was created for the president. That's
so,
what Johnny Infantino
what you got? What's your beef with
I'm
this?
saying there were
What's
no
the
other
problem?
candidates.
So?
It wasn't like
what's your point?
Beat out other people.
Do you wish that it went to Amnesty International or to Greenpeace?
Yes. I don't understand why FIFA needs a peace award.
Well, I'll tell you why.
Because they're kissing his butt.
Yes.
He's hosting the game.
Right.
So some of the people on Fox News are honest about it, right? Even Jesse Waters, like, they're kissing his butt. I mean, in this gut feel guy, I don't think he's that stupid. So he knows it's stupid too, but he's reading the script. And that's the thing is like, how many people don't know that it's dumb? Listen to some more. So this is Jesse Waters talking about it.
Please stop. I just jinxed it. I'm sorry. But it is, it's like you get the UFC at the White House, you get the Olympics in Los Angeles, and now you get the World Cup. It's almost like God gave us COVID to kick Trump out so he could reemerge again and oversee this wonderful 4 years of birthday parties, international sporting events, and Octagon. If you doubted there was a God,
oh gosh,
This is evidence there is God.
Okay. Julian.
Non-believer.
This is just a perfect evidence of how much of a clown show this is. How, again, these people are all fake. You can tell, right? And the sad thing is the people who can't tell. And that's what I'm saying. If you think all this stuff is serious, then you're in a cult. And I'm getting curious, for those of you who have MAGA people in your life, do you know anyone who actually takes this stuff seriously? For example, this is Max. He's making a joke here. He says, when my brother was 3, I used to give him an Xbox controller that wasn't plugged in, but looked like it was, so he could pretend to play. FIFA doing the same thing to the president is wild. It's a pretty good one, Max. Here's another person making a joke. This is from Shannon. Shannon says, this is exactly like the Potty King crown I gave my son when he was learning to use the toilet. And speaking of Potty King, if you guys know much about some of the royal history in the past, say in France, like at Versailles, they would bow to the king's poop kind of thing. And I feel like it's this. And it's not like the people, back then didn't know that it's stupid to bow to the king's poop. I'm sure there's people out there that all knew that was dumb. But hey, if that's what you got to do to manipulate the Trump, and because he's so simple to manipulate, then I guess that's what you do. And the whole thing is gross, it's sick, it's stupid. Guys, I know that. I know it's stupid. FIFA has their game plan in mind the same way everyone else does. It's just the most embarrassing thing about this really is how easily Trump is manipulated, because you just know how to manipulate him. On top of that, if you look at like the Trump people, and this is a combination, again, I always talk about the MAGA cult, is you have I'll just be frank with you guys, idiot cult members, okay? And then you have the people who scam the idiot cult members. So that's basically what it boils down to. So they just whacked out stuff all the time. And it's so bizarre for us on the, outside, us sane people, to be like, oh my God, how many people are seriously in this cult? This is the White House in rapid response, tweeting out today, it's Flag Day, you insufferable moron, which also happens to be President Trump's birthday, but you already knew that. You sick and pathetic little Pete. Like, isn't this like bizarre crap that they tweet out here? You remember this? Hegseth was tweeting out about Franklin the turtle, right? Targets narco-terrorists. And so that's been their theme now among these Trump people, to tweet out Franklin stuff. I'll show you. So this one I showed you in the last video, Franklin the turtle cuts regulations, and it has, Franklin cutting up regulations because these people hate regulations. They want big business and corruption to rule the day. This is a new one. I literally just saw this a few minutes ago from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Franklin the turtle bought treasuries. How are you going to explain this era to our kids? And here's the reality. I hope, and again, this is from Scott Bessent, I hope this era ends so that we have to explain to our kids, opposed to this era is the beginning of like meme central and dumbing down of all of U.S. society, from here on out. I mean, it could go down that path. And at that point, then I guess we're either going to be a Waterworld or Mad Max, theoretically Blade Runner. I'll let you guys take your pick on which one you think we're going to go to. Maybe Walking Dead at this point, right? Because let's be frank, it starts with dumbing down the society, and it's dumb. The whole thing is dumb. I just want to make sure that's clear. I know it. You know if you're watching this, and it's just bizarre to watch this stuff play out. Here's another one. This is a Homeland Security. They're tweeting out today, I guess, ICE people wearing Christmas hats and Christmas lights. This whole thing is weird. Because that's what's tweeting that out. Then you got this, it's nonstop bizarre crap. This is from Pam Bondi just today here. The Second Amendment is not a second-class right. Okay, we're talking about the gun stuff. After the prior administration's campaign to infringe on Americans' gun rights, Justice Department is strongly committed to undoing the damage, including just last week filing our first ever Supreme Court briefing arguing for public carry. Okay, so I guess that means we're going to all walk around like it's the Wild West, and I guess we're going to have holsters, and it's going to be like the Star Wars cantina, effectively. We might as well just all have swords, too, at this point. This unit within our Civil Rights Division will advance President Trump's pro-Second Amendment agenda and protect the right to bear arms for all. So open carry, I guess that'll be make USA a great place to live. Everyone's going to have a gun in a holster. Why not, right? This is actually the polling data, though, on Trump, if you want to hear some recent stuff.
This isn't falling into the water. This isn't going underseas. This is going into a deep dark black hole. Look at that, minus 46 points. That is a shift on the net approval of 56 points in the wrong direction since February. My goodness gracious, you know I love looking at these swings, looking how the electorate changes. You rarely ever see swings.
We
like
look
this.
at a lot of polls. We almost never see drops this big, this quickly.
Yeah.
Any sense of why? What issues may be driving it?
You know, look, we've been talking about it. You were talking about it last segment with Mr. Matt Egan. It's the economy, stupid. I mean, just take a look here. Age 18 to 29 on Trump and the economy. Back in October of 2024, who did those under the age of 30 trust? Harris or Trump? It was Trump by 10 points, according to the Marquette University Law School poll. Look at where his net approval rating is now on the economy. Minus 52 points. Very similar to what we saw in the CBS News YouGov poll in terms of his overall drop in support on the net approval rating. And this minus 52, it's just stunning. It's just.
So what is that, a 62% drop? It's absolutely insane. But this is where we're at. So not everyone's a total moron out there. People do see what's going on. You see it also. You also have this. A new poll finds 70% of Americans say groceries are more expensive now than they were a year ago. About 60% of them are blaming Trump. And they're reporting that over on Fox News. And then you actually have this from Rasmussen, which tends to be a more right-leaning poll. And they're saying 55% of voters disapprove of Donald Trump today. And so when you look at this photo here, this is the world that we live in. It really is a South Park SNL timeline. I hope this era ends shortly. Remember, the midterms are coming. The polls are actually crashing for him. And as long as you give him his, stupid prizes, hopefully he stays quiet and doesn't ask for his baby bottle too often. So that's my thoughts on this. I'd like to hear yours, and I'll catch you all in the next video.